and I'm joined by Chloe and Lindsey of Brave Rival. How are you guys doing?
Hi, yeah, we're great.
We are more than great.
As we talk today, it's the release of your debut album, Life's Machine, already getting great reviews. It's been great to listen to it this morning. You guys must be really happy with people's responses so far.
Yeah, we're over the moon.
We're overwhelmed. It's a bit mad. I mean, we're happy with it and we're super proud, but to have effectively strangers saying it's incredible is just,
yeah,
it sounds really cheesy, but it's like a dream come true. It's just a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to take it all in, really. Whenever we read something, it's just,
you just won't stop crying.
It's just it just takes your breath away a little bit, because people, like you say, people that you don't know or don't know us are singing its praises, which is, it's just beyond what we could have hoped for, isn't it?
Yeah,
really, it is. We didn't really know what to expect, to be honest, because when you love, this is what Ed said yesterday, he loves the album so much, but are other people going to love it too? And then there's confirmation that people are. It's a bit pretty cool.
Well, like, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I mean, you guys are a pretty new band to me. I mean, I hadn't heard you guys until I got sent Guilty Love for the radio show. But upon first listen to that, you know, I'm a man who likes my rock for the blues and swagger and soul and groove, and it was that it by the bucket load. So instantly it was, yeah, these guys are a band for me. And even more so, listen to the album this morning. It's an incredible record. It really is.
Oh, thank you so much.
What's your favourite track?
Hide and Run, probably.
Oh,
Run and Hide.
Run and Hide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hide and Run, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a reverse sequel or something. But yeah, Run and Hide probably. So I just love the groove in that riff. Brilliant.
That's the heaviest
so
one.
cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of thought you'd say that since you like the rock.
Yeah, but equally, you know, you've got Light and Shade on several tracks, like you know, Without You and everything that's on there as well. So there is an album that has got Light and Shade, which to me is what an album should be. If you've got everything at 100 miles an hour on the attack, it loses its front, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, it gets boring if it's the same thing. We like to mix it up.
Yeah, we like to throw everything the kitchen sink in, and I think we did with this one.
So how does the writing process work amongst you guys? And is it just a case of everyone adding their bits to the soup, or?
We all kind of write in different ways. So sometimes we might just be in the rehearsal room and you know, let's say Billy will come up with some sort of bass riff, and then we'll work from that. Or each of us will be out doing our own thing in the day and come up with an idea, and we might just send a voice clip, and then we've got like a drive folder filled with all of our ideas. So we've got like a folder for each of us of all our ideas, and there's probably like hundreds and hundreds of, you know, just little bits of songs. And
some of them are like, oh yeah, that's really good, and some of them take instantly, and then we run with that, and those are the ones that generally make it into songs. They grab someone, like me and Chloe will hear, I don't know, a riff from Ed or something, and it will be like, oh, I've got an instant idea for that. Oh, here are my lyrics, Chloe, what do you think of this? Oh, I've got a good harmony line for that.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be the chorus, and then it kind of snowballs, and then it becomes a track. That's kind of what happened with everything.
But because Lindsay and I don't play any instruments, we often sing what we hear. So like a recent idea, I was like, you know, and you just sing it on a voice clip and hope that they'll make sense of what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I saw an Aerosmith documentary where Steven Tyler did exactly the same. So I think you're on good lines.
Oh, good. There you go. Then I'll take that.
Good enough for him. Yeah.
So obviously you've released Heart Attack, you've released Guilty Love. Are there any other songs on the album that you're particularly looking forward to seeing people's reactions to now that they're out?
Yeah, we've got 2 more singles on the way.
Yeah,
from the album.
I think Run and Hide, I think because it's such a in your face track in the sense of energy.
Yeah,
I think I'm excited. It's one of my favorite. That's the one that makes me like yeah. So I'm excited to hear people hear that, and hopefully we'll have a music video to it soon as well.
Yeah, there are plans getting in place. We just shot another video for the single that's going to be, I think the next single's Tonight.
Yeah.
And then the one after that is Run and Hide.
Oh, cool.
So we're kind of hitting hard with this album. We're not, because a lot of our other tracks are quite long, not exactly radio worthy unless they're on a, you know, the long player or something like that. So we can't really release any of the slower ones, because
even though Break Me is probably our most popular, but it's too long for radio. So we're
station.
Yeah, depends. Yeah.
Those are the ones that we've been advised that we release first.
The ones that hit you quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to hear people's response to Life's Machine as well.
Yeah,
the actual title track, because we don't play that one live very often. We're kind of saving it for the album tour, so it'd be quite nice for people to like really hear it and get used to it before we start gigging it live. And I feel the record really does it justice, because there's such an amazing production on it. So I'm excited to hear people's response to that one.
Definitely. Yeah.
Is there a reason why you haven't played it live yet, other than obviously wanting to support it with the title of the album and all that? Or
We've played it live a couple of times,
mainly last year. Haven't played it this year yet.
Just because we've had short slots for like, because we've been doing support slots, which are only like 30, maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And we need to get the bangers that people expect us to do, and you don't want to do too many slowies in such a short set.
Yeah.
So
we have to pick and choose very carefully when we do our shows. But when we do our headline shows, which starts at Bannerman's Bar, officially it starts on the 11th of June at the Echo Hotel Music Club. That's the kind of album launch tour. But we do have one show before that. But when we get to those headline shows, we can unleash everything.
Yeah, because we can't not do Come Down in a set, or even like, we don't even like not doing Long Time Coming either. And same with Break Me, people kind of expect to hear those ones. They're like our signature songs.
But if we only did Break Me, Long Time Coming, and Come Down, and Life's Machine, there'd be no room for anyone else.
You'd have a very short song sets anyway. But
Yeah.
You mentioned the production on the thing, and that's one thing I was gonna mention, because it's one of those productions where everything is clear as a bell without overtaking each other. You know, you can hear everything from the drum fills cutting through to your vocals going over top of it without it becoming muddy and just you not being able to distinguish what's what. Who did the production on this? It's amazing.
Oh, it's Terence Shepherd. You want to, everybody listen out for that name, because he is an up and coming producer.
This was his first professional album that he's produced on his own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's our debut and his, in a way. So
yeah, we're super proud of him, and I think he's super proud of his work. We keep sending him messages saying, look what this reviewer said about you, and he's very happy. Yeah. He's up and coming, but he's not going to be unknown for long, I don't think.
Because he shadowed, was it Clint Murphy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's
a good one.
Yeah, I remember.
It's really hard for us to remember names. So.
Yeah.
Well done.
So he shadowed Clint Murphy, and there's another name as well. There's two names, but Clint Murphy was the main kind of, that's where he basically learnt his skills, and he worked there. Was it a work experience or like an apprentice?
I'm not sure. You need to have an interview with Tarrant, because if you like his production, you should have a word with him. Yeah,
that'd be cool. Actually, do something a bit different. Interview producer. That'd be good.
Yeah, he's great on camera as well.
He's lovely.
Yeah, he's a really good talker, and he really knows his stuff. And he was the best. He I think he came through Donna and Billy because they'd worked with Clint in the past. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they were like, "Oh, how about this guy?" And we were like, "Well, we don't really know what he's going to be like." But none of us did really. And he was the perfect fit. He was great.
He was like encouraging, but not like he wasn't pushing. Because some people in the industry, especially big names, they could come across as rude, or even just they might just leave you to it. Whereas with him, it was like, say if we were doing a vocal take, he'll be like, "Oh, I think you can do it better." But he would communicate with us in a way that was kind but firm.
Yeah.
And it was so refreshing to have that, to actually have direction and encouragement, but also really getting the best out of every single one of us, but doing it in a respectful way. And I just felt like we've all become friends with him. It was such a good process. Like, it's really enjoyable process working with him.
I think it made a difference that he's also a musician.
Yeah.
Okay.
He plays bass in his own band. I think he plays guitar as well. So he had a real musical ear.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a case of what he can hear on the computer, and when it was recorded, he could hear it live as well.
Yeah.
So, and his delivery of how he communicated was great. We just can't thank him enough, because there's been so many good responses to the production, including yours now.
Honestly, it was one of the, like, I get to hear a lot of stuff, and a bad production can ruin a great record. And unfortunately, I've heard that side of the coin as well, when I've known bands who I've seen live, and I know they can deliver the goods, and then you hear what they've got in the studio, and it's not captured their sound at all, and it can make you really make an opinion on a band. So when you get, you know, a debut album with production as good as this, does stand out from the crowd, that's for sure.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I think I was a little bit concerned that the studio album wouldn't capture the energy of us, because a lot of people say you need to see us live, and I agree with that. Like, when you see us in action, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of fun. You know, we like to have fun with the crowd, we like to be stupid. And I was a bit concerned that you wouldn't necessarily capture that,
because it's going to be so
polished.
polished.
Yeah. And also an album can flatten it, you know, the vibe a bit, but in actual fact.
But it was things like, you know, like in Come Down, usually I'm prowling across the stage when I'm performing it live.
It's a good word.
But in the studio, obviously I had to stay still, which was quite hard. But in between things, I was moving around as much as I possibly could, and then carried on singing, just because I needed that energy behind me. And everyone encouraged that in the process, including Taryn. And same with Life's Machine at the end, like the kind of ghost-like sort of spirits at the end of the kind of a cappella bit that fades out of us singing Life's Machine. For us to kind of really connect to it, we literally asked to turn all the lights out, and we stood in the dark and just sang what came to us, and we just improvised the end and did a few takes, and he literally just put them all over one another.
Yeah.
And it was
the first time we heard it back, I was completely I lost it. I think I didn't listen to the first time here on your little speaker, the tiny little Bluetooth speaker, after we'd just done it, because we didn't know what he was going to do with that.
No.
And he literally just took all of the takes that we did and put them all in. And it sounds like just these spirits, and that's exactly what we wanted to kind of come across. But it was the process of like getting in the dark, and so it was a really, really great process making the album, and he allowed us to do that in a creative sense, which I think has given it a polished sound but an authentic live sound too. You
want that kind of capture, that live swagger and that groove elements to it. You know, you don't want it to be, some production goes too clinical for me personally. I personally want a little bit of raw jaggedy. You don't, like I say, you don't want to be too raw that you can't hear what the song is, but just that.
It's a very fine line, isn't there?
It is, yeah. It's really difficult to balance. And that's why I say it stood out for me, because I think Taryn's got that balance just right on this.
Oh, that's really good to hear. Thank you.
No worries at all. So you mentioned obviously the gigs coming up there. You guys are touring. I'm just looking at the dates here now. You guys are touring rather extensively over the next couple of months in support. That's got to be great after 2 years of not being able to do it. So
yeah, I mean, we're really lucky that
just saying yes to everything.
Yeah, everything. Everything. Do you want to play here? Yes. We're opening the post office. Do you want to play? Yes. That's not part of the tour.
The post office would like us to play. They hate us.
They hate us right now for all the pre-orders that we had to send out the other day. I went in with 2 full boxes, and they looked at me and they went, "No." I was like, "Okay, what do I do now?" So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that gig, guys. That one's off.
But yeah, we're taking all the gigs we can get. We just want people to hear us, and we want people to know our name. So yeah, we're going all over the show.
We're very excited. We're all over the country, and we're going back to some places that mean a lot to us as well. Like the 11th, we decided to do it at the Echo Hotel Music Club, because that was our first headline show, and it was our first recording of a show, which we turned into the live album. So that was 2020 January, and so we thought it was only right to go back there because we made such good friends there, and fans.
Like places like the Tuesday Night Music Club, the Beaverwood, these are all venues we played at, and it's just got such a great scene. Like, people don't just come for us, they come because they go to the venue to support live original music.
And the venue too.
So
which is super important. If people didn't do that, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So it's just the support for, obviously I can't speak for all the genres, but this particular genre, it just seems to be so well supported, and the venues really care about not only the venues but the artists and the people that go there. It's all just such a nice community, and we're really honoured to be part of it. And we're really looking forward to doing the tour and bringing some good few nights to the masses. We can't wait. So if you want to come, get your tickets, everyone.
Like I say, when we air the interview, we'll put the dates up so people can come along to their nearest, or if they fancy a night out elsewhere, they can just check it out.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
No worries. So for anyone who's just discovering you guys like myself, how did the band come to be? How did you guys form?
So it actually started with just us women, because that's where every good idea starts, you see.
I'm a married man. I'm not going to disagree with that.
You have to agree.
Smart move. Yeah, so basically I knew Donna through her sister, and she had loads of song ideas on the guitar, because Donna is a multi-instrumentalist. She plays guitar, drums, piano. She can sing and harmonise, but she's painfully shy. She would never sing in front of anybody, but she's annoyingly talented. And yeah, so she had loads of ideas on guitar from 20 years back. And I was like, well, I've got loads of ideas and I need a guitarist. So we met up and started doing some songwriting. I mentioned it to Lindsey because I sang with Lindsey in a Motown and tribute band. And then I said, oh, do you want to give it a go? And she was like, oh, I'd love to. So she came along and we formed what was called Patchwork Story. And it was more kind of acoustic, bluesy folk / pop, sort of much lighter.
Yeah.
But some of the songs are now in our Brave Rival songs, so we've developed them into much bigger sound. And Donna was like, I want to get behind the drum kit again. Now I've written these songs, I want to play drums. So she got in touch with Billy, who she's previously in another band with, and then we had various lineups for about a year.
Yeah.
We had a keys player for a while, we had a saxophonist, but once we found Ed, we did kind of like almost like a trial gig with him at a festival, and it just locked. It was right. And as soon as we got the 5 of us, it was like, wow, we found the recipe. And it's not just musically, we click, we get on. We like each other, so that helps.
It is a big thing.
Yeah, definitely helps.
Yeah, so it started quite small and then grew, but that's why me, Lindsey and Donna's in my house looking after my baby at the moment. That's why the 3 of us went for brunch this morning. Obviously, we'd love to have had the boys with us too, but
they're working.
It was quite nice to have us girls, because it was like, this is where it all started.
Yeah. It's quite special, isn't it?
It's come from such a little seedling.
Yeah.
And now it's really big, so it's really cool.
It's quite nice how some of the songs have transferred over as well. It's not just like that was then and now this is now. It's like a real progression of where it started, and now it's so epic and so big.
Well, Without You is 15 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I came up with the initial idea of Without You about 15 years ago. Yeah.
God, is that the oldest one on there?
Well, maybe not 15, let's say 13 years ago. Yeah.
12 and a half.
Yeah, so it's 13 years old, that one. And I showed Donna, I was like, oh, I've had this idea for years, and then we worked on it. And so yeah, you're right, it's really developed, and it's kind of got new meanings now as well. Even.
Yeah. So. Well, even the name has new meaning. I mean, our name derived from like a very quick, we need a name for a show a competition that we were going to enter, Battle of the Bands.
But we didn't have a name yet.
We didn't have a name, so we couldn't enter. So we just figured out a name like within a day, and thought that sounds pretty cool. Let's see what that looks like written down. Looks pretty cool written down. Yeah. And that's got new meaning now as well, to what it started off as.
Because we feel brave, like taking this on, like like Lindsey had never done songwriting before, to have like literally a long time coming was one of the first songs that Lindsey's ever written, and it's epic.
Oh,
like
that's impressive, mate.
Right? She's amazing. It's just
pretty proud of that one.
So that's why the name, like, we are brave, like we're trying new things, and there aren't many double fronted female bands out there, and we're brave for doing it. It's because people could easily compare us. They could, like, in the past in covers band, people go, oh, I like her voice, but you look good, and oh, I prefer
a high voice,
or whatever. Whereas it hasn't happened at all in this industry. In this band, it's been, you're both equally excellent and you both complement each other.
It's the first time it's ever happened,
and I feel like it's because we've been brave to go, you know what, screw it, we're just going to do it.
Yeah, so you should. You guys know what's right for you in your band, and was
Absolutely.
into you. So
Yeah, and the rival kind of comes from, like, we do deserve to be on the scene. You know, like,
Yeah,
obviously we support all the other acts that are on the scene, but we want to feel like a rival to them. We want to feel like, no, we do deserve to be here. Like, you know, we do deserve to win competitions, and we do deserve to win awards because we work our butts off. And it's been a long time coming, basically. Pardon the pun.
that's it, though, isn't it? If you're not hungry for it, don't bother. So
we are so hungry for it.
I'm always hungry.
I think always should. I think because it literally has been such a long time in the process as well. We're like chomping at the bit now because it's finally happening. We've been waiting for 2 years to get this album out, and now it's like complete, and it's been amazing up until this point, but now we can really say, I don't know, I know, like, you can get it physically, you can get it online, it's basically in the world, it's in the ether, which is cool. And it's the first time like that's ever happened for us.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And this will only happen once. This will only, you'll only have the first album and the first singles one time, and this is it. This is our time, and we want to make the most of it.
And that's what we said over brunch this morning. We were like, do you reckon we'll ever feel like this again? Do you think we'll ever feel this excited and pride? And I said it's kind of like a relationship, you know, when you first get with somebody and it's exciting, and you've got that fizzy feeling, and every time you see them, you know, you're horny all the time. you know, you can't wait to see them, and you feel awesome. It's like that. And I was like, for our next album, or the next one after that, or the next tour, it may not feel that same fizzy feeling like the start of a relationship, but hopefully it will feel like when you're in a good relationship and you're totally in love and everything's steady and you feel pure love and happiness. I'm hoping it will feel like that.
I'm sure while you guys, you know, there's a lot of heart and soul in this record, and I'm sure while you guys keep to doing what you want to do and the reasons why you do it, then that feeling will just continue, I would think.
Yeah. Sorry, we talk so much. I'm really sorry.
You don't need to apologise for talking. That's what I was here for. There's nothing worse than
we're like, literally asking our own questions and answering them. Sorry.
Fine by me, but there's nothing worse than getting yes, no answers. Trust me.
Oh, really?
I'd much rather talk to you guys like this. Believe me.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm also interested though to hear, like, you know, the story of what was the influences on you, both yourselves individually. You know, what was the lightning bolt moment where you went, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to sing, this is who I want to be?
For me, it happened quite late. I've always been a rock fan. I've always been into metal because that's what I grew up with. My dad was very into metal and classic rock and stuff like that. But for me, really, the way I wanted to sing, because I've always sang other people's songs. I'd never done any songwriting before, even though I wanted to, but I didn't just find the right recipe for, you know, collaborating until very recently, until 2018 or whenever it was we started. And then I heard Tedeschi Trucks Band.
Great band.
It was like a wave of, oh my God, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to sing those songs, but my own way. And I want to get that passion and that soul, and I also want the elements of the harder rocky stuff as well, where I really like. So for me, that was a massive
slide
influence.
guitar,
and slide is huge to me. I didn't realize how much I really enjoyed slide guitar until I heard Tedeschi Trucks Band in like 2018, whenever it was. So it came quite late for me, really. Obviously, there's lots of other influences in there as well, like Fleetwood Mac, Heart, but Bonnie Raitt, Susan Tedeschi. Vocally, I can't fault her. Like, I can't. She's just amazing, and I've been lucky enough to see Tedeschi Trucks Band live in London, and it was one of the best gigs I've ever been to. She's just a massive idol for me. And Karen Carpenter as well. Weirdly, I know it doesn't really come across in the album, but she's very much.
Your tone is amazing.
Yeah, I just love her warm tone, and I try and emulate some of that. I don't have to try too difficult. My tone is quite warm anyway, but that's a huge influence for me too. But yeah, I do like a hard rock song.
See, for me, rock hasn't. It's been an element of my music taste, but more so soul, like Aretha Franklin, has always been someone I've listened to since I was a teenager, because my dad loves Motown, soul, but he also showed me Led Zeppelin and Guns N' Roses. So he's listened to that, and we'd both sing in the car when I was going to gigs when I was like 15. And he'd always sing along with Aretha. Like my dad can sing Aretha, but he can sing it just like Aretha, but he would never do it in front of anybody else.
So that's where you get it from then?
Yeah, my dad's got a really good voice. There's no way he would ever do it in front of anyone. But so Aretha is the biggest influence for me, really. But also I love Led Zeppelin because, and the way that he uses his voice like an instrument. That's what I love. That's what I love about it. And I feel like I definitely put that in how I write with Brave Rival.
And how you form, for sure. That's why there's such a nice crossover, I think, of like rock and soul and blues in there as well. Like because obviously the other guys have got huge influences, especially Led Zeppelin, especially Slash, Thunder. There's just such an array of influences in the band, and I think it comes across in our writing. We're not just one thing, we're lots of different things, which makes us difficult to pinpoint what we do.
Well, I like blues, rock and soul, which I feel is the perfect kind of tagline for us.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? I mean all of my favorite bands have that thing where they can write everything from anything, and whether it's, I mentioned Aerosmith, they're definitely one of my favorites. My dad took me to see Aerosmith when I was 11 years old, and that was me hooked for life.
Oh wow, amazing.
First gig and all that. And then equally with bands like Rival Sons and Blackstone Cherry and all of those acts, they can do harder songs, they can do acoustic tracks, they can do verging on country, but it sounds like them. And listening to the album, well, I've only managed to spin it a couple of times, but I'm sure I'll get this more as I soak up even more. I get that impression from the album. You guys, you've got your slower songs in there, you've got your virgin acoustics, you've got the haunting qualities as well, and then you got your balls out rockers, and everything just sounds like it's got your stamp on it.
That's amazing to hear. That means a lot. Thank you.
No, it's not. My opinion's not worth anything, mate. So there's no need to thank me for it.
Oh, it is. Everyone's opinion is important. But that's, and I think that's for years. Like I was gigging doing original music in an acoustic duo since I was about 14, 15, and we'd enter like local singer songwriter competitions and stuff. And I remember we didn't win a competition, which is fine, I can deal with, but we had to do 2 songs in the final, and we did our most contrasting songs, because I can never write a song that sounds exactly the same as the other one. Like I might write a kind of, like Fall of You, gospel-y sort of soulful song, and then I write something like Come Down. Like it's all is contrasting, because to me that's what being creative is. It's doing a mix, like you just said. And in this competition they'd said, oh, your songs were too contrasting, and that's why we didn't win. That's why we didn't win, because it was too different. And the guy that did win, he was kind of like a local version of Ed Sheeran. Not that I have anything against Ed Sheeran, but a lot of his songs sound the same. And it was 2 songs that sounded identical, and I thought, that's rubbish. And over the years we ended up doing more covers and less originals, and then we were just doing cover gigs. And then I didn't do original music for ages, and that's when I met Donna, and I was like, I really want to do it again, I really need to do it. And I'm so glad that in this band it allows us to do really different things, because like I don't want to do original music if I have to do it in a pigeonhole. Is that right? Is that the right word? Because otherwise what's the point? Like, to me, what's the point? Like, I know we're becoming a business, and we've got to think business head as not just about having fun and performing. But if it ever gets to the point where, oh, we shouldn't do this song because it doesn't fit with this song, to me,
it's stifling.
That would be like, what's the point of doing it? Because writing is releasing what you're feeling,
I think this is it. I mean, I've watched so many, I'm a big music fan, and I was lucky growing up in my household, sounds similar to yourselves, where my parents had very opposing music tastes. My dad was very rock and metal and brought me up on Sabbath and AC/DC and Aerosmith and, The Who and Led Zeppelin and everything else like that. Actually, to be fair to him, he also brought me up on Rage Against the Machine and Soundgarden. So it wasn't that old. I wasn't that old at the time. But then my mum on the other side, she was all about Motown and soul. and Prince and George Michael. But in my household, music was just music. It was just whatever, you know. My dad never ushered me into a room away from when my mum was playing Prince and sat me down with Black Sabbath vinyl and went, no, you only listen to this. It was just whatever pricked my ears up. So I think you're right, but I think the worst thing an artist can do is not be true to themselves. There's so many documentaries and autobiographies I've read where an artist has started to believe management and started to believe that they should go down a certain route. They've not been true to themselves, and then their fans have gone away for a period of time because they're writing albums that they shouldn't be writing, and because it's not come from them, the albums seem weak because it hasn't got that thing from them, and then they get annoyed, do the album that they wanted to do anyway, and then people come back. So I think the worst thing you can ever do, mate, is try and pigeonhole yourself. That's for sure.
Yeah. And that's why I'm proud of this album, because I feel like we've just been ourselves, and as long as we continue to do this, I think we'll succeed.
Yeah, I agree with all you just said.
Nice to see this to Harmony still in the band after the album's been released then.
Yeah, we're still together.
So what does the rest of the year hang out for you guys, though, other than the album launch, obviously?
What's the rest one?
What do you say? What's happening this year, did you say?
Yeah. For the rest of the year.
Basically it's the tour.
And then we want to start writing.
Yeah, we've got the singles coming out over the next, I guess, 3 months.
Okay.
Two singles to come out. So that will be happening, which
With music videos.
with music videos. So in actual fact, there's like whatever you guys see on the surface is about 2% of what's actually happening with the band, of course. So there's a lot going on.
We've got an epic idea for the music video for Run and Hide. So watch this space. And we've already shot the Thin Ice music video.
It's already done.
It's just
in production.
editing and stuff. So touring, music videos, I'll hopefully get more reviews and stuff for the singles.
Festivals.
Yes, booking for next year, potential tours in the EU next year or the year after.
Nice.
And also, I think once with the tours over the next few months, we want to get into the studio and actually spend the time writing, because we haven't been able to properly get together and really spend time like working on new songs because we're having to rehearse for this tour. So
which is also excellent, because we want this tour to be the best that people have ever seen, because we know that we've got some amazing hardcore fans that have been to several shows already. We want to make it very special for everybody, including them.
We have to kind of stop ourselves though, don't we?
We have to
we
have to stop our creativity in that way so that we can make this good, and then we can get back to songwriting. We're kind of doing it alongside, but we can't focus on it because there's too much to do.
I can't wait to have a whole rehearsal just dedicated to working on new material. So that will probably start from like August, maybe. Yeah,
and then we'll go from there. We're thinking, I don't know if you heard us say it on the live stream just now, we're hopefully going to get this album on vinyl, but of course that costs a lot of money. So we're just going to see how many people would be interested in actually having it on vinyl, and then see if it's something we could do.
Crowdfunder or something.
Yeah, because obviously that's so much money. We can't, we don't have the upfront cost for that, unfortunately. We wish we did, but we don't.
And we want to do a crowdfunder for the next album. So because we don't have management, we don't have, I mean, we've only just, I think, potentially just signed with an agent,
a booking agent,
but we don't have management. We're not funded by anyone. Like it's all run by us. Like all the graphics, the website, everything, that is this woman here. The contacts and everything is Billy. Like it's like everything is us. So it's hard work. It is like a machine running.
It's a full-time job,
and we're
every day.
I mean, me, Lindsay, and Donna are self-employed musicians. Ed and Billy have got normal people jobs.
Inverted commas.
So we can't afford. Self musicians are poor, so we can't afford to put the money up front for the next album. But we managed to get an amazing Kickstarter income. We managed to raise the funds to do this existing album. So I'm hoping people will say, we love this album, we'll invest in the next one. So that's the goal. So
and it's going to be even better than this one.
Yeah, sure. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to check out, see when the nearest date is to me, and and come see you guys live. I'm gonna have to do that. So we're gonna see you.
Yes, you do. You have to come and see one of our headline shows for sure.
Yeah, definitely be good to get like a full show as well. There's nothing worse than a band you want to see and you get cut off after half an hour. So I'll have to make it.
Yeah, that's hard for us as well, believe me.
Normally at the beginning of an interview, I will choose a song and get an artist to choose a song of theirs at the end. But as there's two of you, let's just have a song each from you and we'll sandwich the interview in the middle of the album.
Okay. Anyone in the world?
Any song of yours, yeah?
Oh God.
I want Buck and Evans, Sinking.
Good call. That's a great song.
I love it.
Love Buck and Evans.
I've listened to that album so many times. I love it so, and that song like makes my body, like it takes over my body. It's crazy.
I'd like Dan Patlansky,
Yeah.
because I haven't stopped listening to that new record since it came out. No, wait, and it's not off the new record. In actual fact, there's another song from the previous record, and what's it called? I have to look this stuff up. Quick, get Spotify up. It's called Bad.
Bad. Oh, that song.
Oh yeah.
Dan, how the hell do you spell that?
P-A-T. That's
That
Dan.
song?
So Dan, as in Daniel.
I didn't mean to. It's my fat fingers.
That's it. Pat Patlansky. Sorry, bear with.
It's not Bad Soul, is it?
Oh, it's Backbite.
Ah,
That's what I was getting confused with. Bad Soul. That's off the new record. This
Yeah.
is off of the previous record, but the new record is amazing.
it
But
is.
my favorite one I keep coming back to is Backbite.
What two songs off your album would you like people to check out?
Oh gosh.
Break Me. It's too hard. They're all our babies. It's like picking a favourite baby. Even though I just did it straight away.
So you're quite quick off the hip there to then make that analogy.
only because Break Me will never really get played as a single. So if it is possible to get it played as a single, then I want to take that opportunity. That's all.
And I'm going to pick Long Time Coming because it's the one that means the most to me personally, because it's about being away from family, which I don't live anywhere near my family, so it's all very poignant to me when I play it, especially when we played it for the first time after a long lockdown. That was intense. And also we are hoping to recreate that song with the choir in the church at some point,
Oh, nice.
made for a live thing. So
You should come to our album launch show on the 11th of June. It's going to be epic.
Where's that?
It's the Echo Hotel Music Club in Hook.
Okay, yeah, I'll see what I'm doing and see if I can come down.
where are you
Yeah.
based?
Grayson Evans, I'm a little way, but I don't go travel for music. Suffolk.
Oh, Suffolk.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Are we up that way? Oh, well, have a look on our list if we're anywhere near you, because I don't actually know where that is.
Stay in touch. You sound cool. I feel like we'd get on.
Yeah,
So-
we'll have a fight together.
That sounds good to me. All right, thanks for your time, guys. It's been great to chat to you.
And
Thank
you, thank you
you.
so much.
No worries.